and compete against it. It's just we're all going to be providing, those type of services. We're not going to try to mimic another program.
Sure.
We're just going to try to be innovative because we're not big owning to anybody just yet. We haven't got the big funders that we have to look at and say, okay, we got to do A, B, and C. This is the time for us to learn what we can do and what's going to be accepted by the community as far as just doing it, just throwing it out there.
I think that there's the balance that Naki and I have talked about is you have to be careful as a nonprofit when you start getting funding.
Right.
I mean, everybody wants grants, right? And I got to get this grant, I get that grant. But then you become, and it's not a bad thing unless you're out of your, you're beyond what your commitments
scope is.
Yeah, like what your mission, vision, values are.
Exactly.
If you become too beholden to deliverables, then you start doing those.
It becomes the same thing.
Right. Like I've got to do this to get the funding.
Yeah.
So now, like 80% of my energy is going towards things that don't truly align with our vision and values.
Yeah.
So there's the balance of, yes, there are things that we need funding for to put events on that our people need, but I don't want to get into, now we have funding from 5 different areas.
Right.
We've got 5 different groups that are giving us deliverables.
We're offline.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sorry.
Naki's
Nothing. Go ahead.
her wieners. What is that called?
Weenus.
Her weenus is dry.
But I think that you can kind of lose your identity if you get too into the funding.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's for us right now. It's going to be a very creative time to just really do what we need to do before we are beholden to those individuals that say, well, we want A, B, and C deliverables. Right now, we could do whatever we need, to do to have our community engaged and have what they really want. Because sometimes it's not about what they want, but it's about what the funders want, right? But this is a perfect time to have to see what they want.
Yeah, and there's that, you're free to do whatever you want. We don't have funding. Then you don't have funding. So the balance of, now you got funding, now you got to do
this
A through F.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. So good times and good things for Poly by Design.
Yes. Now in studio joining us, we got her 20 minutes early. We thought we were only going to get an hour with her, and now we've got a bonus of 20 minutes.
That's
we finally have Tisha in our studio.
Hey,
Good
welcome,
morning,
girl.
Good morning, y'all.
Oh,
how are you?
Oh, it's been a long day yesterday.
Was it? Yeah. And here you are today.
I made it.
So let me just Tisha just brought in this beautiful, it's 3 pieces of art that I just want to push up one, because there's 3 pieces. It's a trio.
That is awesome.
But look how beautiful that is.
that is beautiful.
It's amazing. Oh my God.
And what is that, acrylic or is it?
Yes.
What it is?
Yeah, that's acrylic. Yeah. I mostly paint in acrylic.
I was gonna
a lot
ask,
of places don't allow oils because it's
flammable.
Yeah. So acrylic's really my
What are the
choice.
differences between is it the color that pops out more with acrylic, or is it?
No. It's usually your finish is what
The
makes
finish.
the color pop. Whether you put a gloss or a matte.
Right.
But yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Now, looking at the pieces, they're very remnants of the 60s kind of art. Where are your influences coming from?
A lot of it is cultural. In the Fijian culture, this hairstyle has a name. They call it umbuninga. And so I have a lot of family members that still wear it this way. And they live all over the world, but they still wear their hair like this. I love to paint and mimic a lot of culture and to blend it in my art.
I love it. So can people that don't know who you are and are just listening in, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, and your heritage and your culture and your art, just everything?
So local artist out of San Jose. I usually am all over the Bay Area, Oakland, San Francisco, the art festivals.
Nice.
Born in Fiji, raised in Australia, ended up here. 2 sons.
Their names?
Caleb and Gideon.
Caleb and Gideon. I like strong names.
Yes.
They are very strong individuals.
Oh
Yes.
my God! Yes.
Yeah, they're definitely they're two different parts of me.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, just trying to figure out a way to cultivate Fijian culture and but modernize it and make it my own. And yeah, that's.
Are you at
pretty
the
much-
Aloha Festival today, or?
We're going after this.
Oh, nice. Are you going to
Yeah.
sell any of your pieces there,
No,
or just
no,
as
no.
a spectator?
I'm going to support Ke Aloha
Ah,
and the
okay.
family. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, we're just
So where can they? Do you have a website that they can see your work? or-
usually Instagram. I
Mhm.
realized starting a website and having social media. Social media seems to have me interact with people who
Right.
directly much
Way
faster.
faster.
And it's
Exactly.
just useless having a website because
I know.
you know, and you get to promote a lot more work instantly.
Exactly.
Especially
Right.
with the youth. The youth
Yeah.
they are very on the phone and
All the time.
app based,
Yeah,
and you can tell them a lot of them of a website, and they kind of give you the look like, well, you know, if there's some point during the week where I have some
Yeah.
time to sit at a computer and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
it's really.
I'd rather
like,
add you and follow you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can just see the
That's
things
it.
on the fly. I can see what
Just
you're doing, see what
boom,
you're
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So how much do your pieces run? Like, what is the most affordable, and what is a piece that's kind of
So I have prints that I usually sell.
Oh,
Those
uh-huh.
just make more sense for people who want to buy multiple pieces of mine and keep
Yeah.
them.
nice?
Because my canvases are so big, I don't really do small pieces.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Mine are huge, and I usually like one of these are about 400.
Okay.
Holy crap!
So, no, but I have bigger ones. So I have
Oh.
ones that are as big as this wall. So,
Oh wow!
so I have really huge pieces.
Which
and
ones do you enjoy, or are they
Yeah.
just different? Is there one format you enjoy more, or just are they just different for you?
I find, I don't know why, but when because my stuff is very modern contemporary. It's not
Right.
like, you know, you're not going to get me to sketch you or
right, right.
you know, this is very different and
Right.
abstract. So everything I do always looks different. I never create
the same thing.
Yeah, it's always different.
You
So-
prefer larger pieces?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had someone tell me once, they met me and they saw my pieces. They're like, oh, it's because you're larger than life.
Well, it's funny because when I was losing my vision, I went to go take art at the School for the Blind and Low Vision Impaired,
Mhm.
and they taught me, or they showed me how to paint.
Mm.
And they would always say, you need to paint larger canvases. And I was
Mhm.
like, why? Because I'm hella big? What, I mean, but it makes more sense for somebody who's visually impaired to paint large.
Mm.
You know, you see things coming at you. And I kind of miss it because it's been, I don't know, a long time. But it's a stress reliever for you? I mean, do you go into a zone when you're painting? Or do you block everything out? Because I know there's certain...
Music is probably the
Music.
best conduit for everything I
Right.
create.
Ah,
So I know that this particular piece at the time, this was like a whole Alicia Keys album.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
like, you know, you just blast
Naturally,
it and then you get
Yeah.
to create and stuff like that. I usually go to the local park in Campbell
Uh-huh.
uh-huh.
and then just put headphones on and paint. And usually people think I'm like the village nut or something.
So, any
Yeah.
envisioning of going into having your own opening with a gallery and all your pieces?
You know what? I've been asked so many times about this, and I just
Yeah.
feel I don't feel everyone deserves a bit of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Do you
not.
think that's your cultural background that's telling you that, or?
No, I think it's more of a selfish thing.
Mhm.
You get when you have one of those, you have people come in, and then everyone feels like a critic of your
Your work.
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
work. And so I feel like when I have my pieces and I share it with certain people, it's because you deserve my time and my energy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I feel very connected to people that I give stuff to,
Oh, that's
Mhm.
awesome.
or that people who buy my stuff. And
Yeah.
I've had stuff that I've kept for a long time. People offer
Yeah.
to buy it. I say no, it's not for sale. And then someone really falls in love with it, and then I
Right.
give it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
It's
not.
beautiful.
I'm not willing to share a lot of
Your art.
with people who I don't feel really appreciate the piece, you know, for what.
So, in other words, you're not in it for the money.
No,
like
definitely
some artists
not.
definitely will want to sell pieces.
Is there anybody specifically that has obtained a piece of your art that you're really proud that they sought you out, or they appreciate your art?
Yeah, I had this lady I met her twice. She's seen a few of my pieces. She loved it. I kept saying no to her, and then she lives in San Francisco. And then one day she messaged me and she said, "Can you make something for me and I will pay you?" I said, "No, I don't feel comfortable yet."
Yeah.
You know, like there's something has to inspire me to create. You know, you can't just ask and then
so true.
Yeah.
You know, and so one day for some reason I made something and I put it up and she said, "I want that one."
Oh.
So then she offered me money and I said, "You know what? I'm going to give it to you." So I gave it to her.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it just feels much more
organic and
natural.
And it's genuine.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I don't like to feel obligated to monetary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It keeps you very free, right?
Yeah.
It keeps your freedom of your expression is that you're not beholden to
right.
I don't know, to make 3 of these in a year for somebody, or make a certain style, certain amount of time, or those kind of things. Good for you, because it's got to help. It's got to help your own creativity when you're painting, when you're doing your passion, to know that it's just your mind and your art, and you're putting it together however you feel like putting it together.
Yeah.
My son did a lot of when he was younger. He did a lot of Polynesian art, and one of my wife's friends saw his art and was like, "Wow, can you do a piece for me?" And he was, I think he was 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah." So she walks him out there, and it's his first piece that he's ever done. Big piece. It's an entire side of a garage.
Yeah,
it's
that's
huge,
awesome.
and he's stressing because he doesn't, so he gridded it out to make sure that it would be, because it was a whale and dolphin and ocean scene, but he was afraid that the whale would end up too small or not to scale or anything. Yeah. So he had the whole thing gridded out. He put so much into that. Yeah. And when he got done, he was happy that he got it done, and he was happy that it was complete, but he didn't really, it wasn't something where he looked at it and went, "Wow, that's amazing." He liked it, and that was about the extent of, there's other things that he's done just in his sketchbook that he's like this, and he showed me the same thing sometimes for years, and that's what resonates with him. This huge piece that everybody gets to stand and have a cup of coffee and look at it, because she was having her daughter's wedding in their backyard, so it was kind of a piece of the wedding too. He's kind of the same thing. Like, I like it. It's not my favorite, thing that I've ever done. It's probably the piece that has been most viewed. But to him, he's got things that mean more to him.
Oh yeah.
That he did, probably in a class where he's supposed to be doing something else. But is there a piece of art that stands out in your mind that you look at it and go, "Wow, that means a lot to me," or is it everything that you do?
So I have extremes. So I do like crazy colors like this, and then I do black and white tattoo style, Polynesian prints. So I have one that I did a few years ago, and it's my favorite. I can't let it go, and I've exhibited it all over, and my name seems to be synonymous with it in San Francisco. But it was a huge piece. And I have it at home.
So are you trained? Have you gone to school to do art, or is this something that you just...
No, I've done art my whole life, elementary, middle. And then when I got into high school, shout out to Miss Vakota. She was my art teacher.
What's her name?
Mrs. Vakota. She married a Tongan artist he does amazing pieces in Fiji, and a lot of the resorts have his stuff.
Wow.
And her husband sort of had a co-op at the local university in Fiji, and then they took me under their wing, and then it was amazing to create with, I was the only high school kid, and these were all college and professors, and I got to create with them, and they sort of got me to they used to say, find your style, stick to it, don't ever question it, because it's definitely going to be you.
Right.
So that was sort of, I would make some stuff and people would be like, oh, this is like that. And I'd be like, no, this is me. This is not like that. This is me, and this is how I, create. And so, yeah, I've just stuck with that, really. I don't ever question anything that I plan to make or that I come up with. I just go with it.
So, looking at these pieces now, and what is the hairstyle called again?
Buninga.
So, it's very reminiscent of the Afro, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah.
is it because they took that from the Fijian culture? Because I know you can see pictures of, Fijians, and they all have the Afro, that fro, which I knew what was called growing up. But
yeah, the Buninga is a bit different. It's not an actual straight shape around.
Right.
I mean, like a curved shape.
Uh-huh.
It goes straight out and then curves up the top.
Okay.
That's, and you'll see a lot of the old, the vintage photos of
yeah.
Fijians back in the 1800s. You'll see them with that hairstyle.
Now, did they wear special type of combs as well, or was it just...
Yes, the wooden picks.
Right.
And all the picks were different. The idea is when they were carved, they're not supposed to look the same, so you don't mix up your pick with other people.
Okay.
Nice.
And it was the men and women who wore this particular hairstyle.
Yes. I have uncles and aunts who still wear it.
And is there a resurgence? Like, do you see a younger generation trying to go back to that, or are they all still trying to relax their hair? And
No. Yes, my son.
Oh, okay.
My older son
wears
an afro.
And I love it.
I love his hair.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, though. All the hair products is crazy.
Yeah, no, I had a story because I used to wear an afro because I'm from that generation. And I was sleeping one day and I kept on hearing bzz, bzz. I'm thinking, what the, and of course I'm waking up from a hangover. So I go and take a shower and I'm like showering my hair and I feel this object. It was a fly. It got stuck in my fro. And that's what I was hearing. Bzz, bzz, like it was trying to get out. I was like, I'm going to shave my head. But yeah, so froze are. They're also insect catchers.
They're a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he uses a lot of products.
A lot of upkeep. It's not something like it looks great, but I mean,
coconut oil. That's all you need. Just
No, we got that and the pomades and the whatnots
Yeah,
and the conditioners and the we
My
got
son
all
let his hair grow for I don't know a little over a year, and it was huge.
I love that.
But he was the exact opposite. We're like, you need to do something with that. Like that,
Like
just
comb it.
he had lost a bet.
Yeah.
And the bet was that he wouldn't shave it for I think 9 months.
Wow.
But then it went 9 months. He was like, "Yeah, I kind of like it. I'm just gonna let it go." But he didn't do anything. I mean, we're like, we need to do something with that because that's like got a life of its own at this point.
Well, and I wish I could because I noticed the older I get, it's spotty. Like you can tell I have a receding hairline, so it's like, just shave that shit. You're never gonna get that fro back. Right?
Yeah. No, I told my son, high school. I was like, do it now because I know when you start work life,
Right.
all this stuff has to change. So he got to do it, and everyone loves it.
Yeah, that's.
Please don't touch people's hair if you see them.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I used to get that a lot.
That's like when a woman is pregnant
And they come
and
rub the
people,
belly.
strangers come in. Oh my gosh! They rub your stomach like it's
Very
public
bizarre.
property. Yeah, it's bizarre, and I hear that all the time. People always say, "Don't touch my hair."
Yeah.
Were you born here or Fiji? Or
No,
tell us where you came
born
from.
in Suva,
Fiji.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, raised in Australia. I lived in Sydney.
Wow.
And then high school.
Mm-hmm.
My parents said, let's go back to the islands, go to high school. So I went to all-girls Catholic school.
Wow.
And then right after high school, came here.
What brought you here? What brought the family here?
Green card. Everyone came.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
You always wanted to be in the Bay Area or in the States, or I think that's a dream of a lot of PIs.
Yeah, I think we've never really see the Fijian migration is much more recent
Right.
than the Tongans and Samoans, so we just don't think like I want to go there. A lot of us probably Australia because it's so much closer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us go back so many times,
Right.
And so no one really thinks, oh, let's go to California.
Right.
So, but yeah, when we came, there weren't a lot of Fijians here. But now, like we know that every year there's so many more coming.
In Sacramento, right? There's a lot.
There's a huge
big.
There's a huge community in Sacramento. North Bay is probably the biggest.
Uh-huh.
And then Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Why do you think Pennsylvania? I mean, it's just like, why California? You know,
a lot of my cousins are there because of the coal industry.
Okay. And they work up there.
Yeah, the mines.
Wow.
But then the other problem we have is that we're finding that we're having a lot of health issues.
Right.
Right.
Working in those mines.
Yeah. Yeah. Even Alaska, they go for the fishing seasons.
Oh yeah, they get on the ship.
Yeah.
Where they're gone for months.
Yeah.
Any Fijian restaurants? You know, we're always looking for places to eat.
I don't think so.
Really?
I know that there's an Indian Fijian one up in Hayward somewhere that cooks for a lot of function, like caters a lot of stuff. But I don't think we have like a Fijian restaurant.
So what is Fijian cuisine? Tell us some stuff. We went from art to food. Like what were some of the things that you would cook?
Well, when Palangis usually ask me what type of food, all I can say is we're as close. If you know what Jamaican food is like,
it's very
similar to Fijian because of the Indian and Chinese influence in our cuisine. So we were very lucky. Some brought some spices and some brought some heat. So our food is a real melting pot.
Anything like palusami or lu or?
Well, we make palusami, but it's funny we put stuff like octopus in ours.
Yeah, I've seen.
We do shrimp.
Oh, see, nice.
Yeah, so we put a lot of different things. It's not always the same.
Just the leaf.
Yeah, we do a lot more seafood.
Is it spicy?
No.
Okay.
No, our spices are in the curries.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
I know. I'm always hungry. I stay hungry.
Yeah.
You know, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, what do you think of all these mass shootings that are going on? And you have young boys, so you know what I mean? They're going to theaters, they're going to malls.
Yeah, and you know I think what's upsetting is that the lack of interest in our allies to step forward,
right?
In the Caucasian community to come forward and say we why is this happening? Because obviously it's not a problem with us.
Yes,
people come.
There's something in your house that you need to fix.
Right.
There's not enough people stepping forward to say that we have a problem with our young white boys.
Right.
You know, and we had that last year at my son's high school. One of the boys was upset. He wasn't wasn't very vocal about why he was upset, but we just heard that there was a threat against the school. And this kid had wanted to get his dad's guns to shoot up the place.
Oh my gosh.
But then you're like, I don't know, maybe I have a different relationship with my sons. And more parents need to talk to their boys.
I think
Islanders,
Islanders in general are different with their children. Yeah, like you'll never, and I hope I'm right, you'll never hear of a Pacific Islander going into a school or anything and shooting.
So here's an interesting statistic. Of the 27 worst mass shootings in the United States, 26 of them, the shooter was not raised, was either raised single parent mother, no father figure in the home, or was raised with different stepfathers, but no consistent father figure. 26 of 27.
Male role in their lives. Yeah.
It's not like, correlation isn't always causation, so it doesn't mean that, but it means something.
It does.
I've read that.
It
doesn't mean causation. Well, I get that. It doesn't. I'm not saying that it means everything, but it means something. If 26 to 27, there's something to be said there about.
Yeah, and I think with our community in general, you're raised by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you go,
takes a village.
It does. And I know it sounds corny to a lot of people, but it's true. I can't remember how many times I've been corrected in public by people I don't even know, other Samoans or Tongans, like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, who the hell are you? So I think
you're older than me, so
I'll just sit here and shut up. So I think that's an advantage that we have, that we are still allowed to do
very
that,
communal,
or take a little kid and say, where's your mom, where's your dad, without having to feel worried like somebody's gonna snatch that kid up.
And I think it's with the Pacific Islander kids, the respect. We always respect the elders.
Yes.
And that's like like beat into you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it literally is beat into you when you. I mean, it's bad to say, but that's the way.
But
I
it's
was.
true.
Yeah.
You and then you're just only truly a representative of the way you were raised.
Yeah.
You know, and I was always, I remember driving and I'll see an older someone or whatever, and I'll pull over and. At first they're taking them back, and then you just kind of talk, and then you give them a ride, and those things you don't see very much anymore. And we should get that back. So.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. They're like blaming the guns, gun control. They talk about that.
No, I'm an advocate for. I don't think you should be taking away people's guns.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's
you have
important.
a right to carry.
You do have a right to carry.
I think mental health is
what
a lot of
about the
that.
types of guns? Like you
don't
need
you
do have a right to bear arms, but you don't need no machine gun to be walking around.
The the Democratic candidate Andrew Yang,
right?
He's the one that wants to give everybody $1,000 a month.
A month.
His take on gun control was that, well, if you want it to the spirit of the Constitution and our Bill of Rights,
right?
You get a gun, then you're eligible to be drafted into the local militia,
right?
Because that's what it was. That
makes sense.
What it was for.
Okay.
And that it got a lot of pushback from both sides,
right.
To where you're saying, well, there's still going to be guns out there, but then
you have
if
to
you
serve some time,
right?
Yes,
if that's
sense.
We want to stick to the constitutionality of
that's where
what it was.
From. Yeah,
it was actually a lot of people don't know what the Third Amendment is. The Third Amendment is that you can't have standing armies
right.
posted in your house.
Right.
So in the old days, England would just say, "Oh, okay, well, we're going to be at war with the French,
right?
So we need every house on the eastern seaboard is going to house our armies."
Mm-hmm.
And the Second Amendment went along with that because the only way you're going to be able to keep standing armies out of your house is to have a gun.
Right.
So those things kind of went hand in hand when you look at the second and the third. But I thought it was an interesting take by Andrew Yang to say, well, let's go with the Constitution then. If you feel the need for a gun to protect yourself and your family, then maybe you should be in the State National Guard.
I wish he was more aggressive.
Yeah.
I wish he was more aggressive and spoke up during these debates because he has a lot of good points. He's just like
I think so.
I've learned all of his points and his positions in other interviews.
Yes,
but that's the problem with the debates. The debates are sound bites.
Too many people.
You get
not
45 seconds.
Right.
Explain the meaning of life in 45 seconds. Go. Like, I don't have time to even get the first 10, to even lay the foundation for the conversation. But that's the sad part. That's the way that our system system works. Is it's all sound bites. Like, what are you going to get across to people in 45 seconds?
And also, I think our attention span.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we expect that.
Yeah. Right.
A tweet's 140 characters.
Yeah.
A video can only be a minute and a half long. Like, I do that now. Like, if I'm scrolling through Facebook and it's like a guy looks like it's going to be something funny. He's going to catch a fish or something, and I go, oh, and I stop, and I see it's a 3.5 minute video. I'm like, 3.5 minutes.
I don't got time. Yeah.
Time for 3.5 minutes.
We don't have time anymore. Yeah. It's instant. The instant gratification. Like, we need it like right now. If you're it's a video about catching a fish, you better catch that fish in the next 15 seconds or I'm moving on. So I think the 45 seconds for the Democratic Party to get everything that you want to say that's not real.
Right. You're going to discuss national, universal health care in 45 seconds.
No.
I mean, it's just hard to do. I had a question because music will bring me back to I always example Bob Marley because for me, Bob Marley never got played out on the radio. So it's not like I think of like 1980. This, like when I hear Michael Jackson, it takes me to a certain point. When I hear, I don't know, some other music, it takes. Bob Marley is pretty much kind of timeless. So there's a whole bunch of different memories that I have with Bob Marley all the way through my life.
Okay.
So if you listen to like Alicia Keys for this, when you see art maybe years later, does what you were going through at that point, do you hear it?
Definitely.
That touches you that way?
And all my pieces have a song that's always with it. So I'm never making stuff and it's silence, never. Yeah.
So that helps you
totally.
create creativity.
This was the Alicia Keys?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And but I think my diehard is probably Alpha Blondie.
Alpha Blondie.
Yeah, he's a singer out of Africa.
Oh, okay. I have to pull him
French
up.
reggae.
Oh, nice.
And so it's funny. I sing the whole song. It's all in French. I have no idea.
You don't know the song?
I just know the words and I know the song and it's all in French and it's just Alpha Blondie's probably my go-to.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. So are you married? Or are you?
Yes.
Yay! I know. We spoke about this. How our husbands are like the total opposites of us because we don't see them.
Right.
No.
Yeah. No
Like,
one sees them.
Nobody sees them, and they like Mo prefers
fine.
not to be. Yeah.
And they're fine.
Mo prefers not to be anywhere if there's a camera in front of me or if I'm on the mic, he don't want no part of it.
And I've been around so much that people think I'm like a single mom.
And honestly, I thought you were a single mom.
Yeah.
Only like I think everyone came to my son's graduation.
Yeah.
And they all got a shock and they're like, "Who's the guy there?"
Who's that guy?
Oh, that's my husband.
By the way,
that's my man.
They're like, "We know you for like 15 years." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's how long he doesn't go anywhere."
wow.
He just hides. He's the polar
But is he
opposite.
very supportive of your work and what you do, or is he just like you're a crazy woman?
Oh, I'm sure he's like, I think it's more like, where do you find the time?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another. When you have
'Cause we're
passion, there's time.
opposites. Yeah, we're polar opposites.
That's so true what you just said. When you have a passion, you find the time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
put
my
the
God!
passion in your
Yes,
life.
Yeah.
we know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We know
Or
that.
you suffer, and I really do mean that. If you don't find the time to put your passion in your life,
Yeah.
you suffer.
No,
Yes.
it's true.
And you
It's
know
so true.
my grandma always says that everything you can get back, because she would make fun of like plastic surgery and stuff. She's like, you can get even your youth back. The only thing you cannot get back is time.
Right.
Once
Man.
it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
Forever.
I'm going
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And that's the
Never.
term my kids used to use. Man, there's 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
So
You're
what-
never going to get it back anyway.
Ever.
What's
Yeah.
a round trip fare like to Fiji? Like if you were to leave tomorrow, like what would it be? Because there's direct flights from here.
Yeah,
right?
I think it started. This is so terrible because my parents work for the airlines. I should
Oh.
know this.
No, I know to go to Samoa, you can, I think, take Air Fiji. And I think it's like $900
Oh wow.
round
Yeah,
trip.
it's much cheaper. I
It's
remember
much
when
cheaper.
I came. It
Except
was
when
like
you go on
15 or 17.
Yeah, on Hawaiian Air
through
to
Hawaii.
Through Hawaii, it's like 13, 14.
I wouldn't mind going by way of Fiji.
Me neither. Yeah, I don't know
That's
anybody
Phil.
there, but
Phil Alapati, and
they did some
they
volunteer
did some
work out
volunteer work in Fiji, and I talked to him at Pacific Islander Day, where the what's the event going on today? That
there.
you're-
The
Aloha.
Festival.
Aloha
It's
Festival.
the same place where we saw him.
Yeah.
at-
San Mateo
for
County
the
Fairgrounds.
Yes,
County
yes.
Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So I saw him there, and I was like, "Hey, how was that?" And he goes, "Man, I fell in love with Fiji."
Oh, I
And
bet.
he goes, I would rather go there than Samoa. All my
Yeah.
family, the people piece of it. Yes, I need to go to Samoa." He goes, "But I can't wait to go back to Fiji." Like he and his wife flat out fell in love with Fiji being
I
there.
can imagine. The tourist industry is really big in Fiji. They said that's the most friendly island of them all. I mean,
I think I had a Palangi friend who went, and they stayed at one of the resorts. And they loved it, and they were like, the heartbreaking thing is when you leave the resort and you drive, and you see the poverty. You know that, and she goes,
Real poverty.
and it's real poverty. She goes, but the shocking thing is that you have these kids who come from these areas who just have the biggest smiles in
Yes.
the world. They're running along the side of the road, they're waving at you, and she's like, I'm just shocked. Like we're at this beautiful resort, and then we leave the resort to go into town, and you see all this poverty. She's like, everyone's so happy. Why are they happy?
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even in Samoa, people are just generally happy. And I have all my gear, like I was saying, like the off spray, your camera, your hoodie, and you see these people just like smiling and waving, like, look at that fool.
Alright.
Yeah, Islanders are just so happy, and I love that.
Yeah.
We need to get out
Get
there.
to Fiji.
Yeah.
I think that's on our bucket list.
Yeah, I'm leaving next.
Oh, they're all every island group's on our bucket list.
Yeah.
We gotta get
All right,
all
let's
of
go
them.
right now.
I think there's an order, and Fiji's going to be the top of that order.
When's the last time you were in Fiji?
Ooh, What, 99?
Yeah. So you need a trip back.
Yeah, I just, when I had my kids, you just sort of like
Yeah.
trauma,
Right.
mode,
Yeah.
and then, you know, you don't, and then, so now my youngest is going into high school, so I'm like, after these 4 years, I joke to them, I'm like, after you're done with high school and you go to college, I'm going to China.
Ooh.
They were like, why are you going to China? I was like, because I don't look like anyone in China and I'll be famous there.
Yeah. This is true.
That
Japan
is
too.
true.
Yeah.
Go to Japan. I want to go to Japan.
Oh, shout out to my brother who's in Japan. He's at school.
Oh my
What's he
God.
studying? What's he studying?
He is studying. He's graduating in September. He's doing his PhD in marine biology.
Oh.
He's a
PhD marine biology.
Yeah, he's a hardcore conservationist and stuff. So he studies a lot of the reefs
Mm-hmm.
and climate change and how it affects Fiji Islands, and we have a problem.
Oh yes, we have a
Yeah.
president who doesn't believe in that. So.
Oh gosh, yeah, people's
Yeah.
doorsteps. The water is we're sinking.
It's kind of crazy when
Yeah.
you look back at ads in the 70s and the 60s, and I saw an ad online maybe 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a guy in a doctor's outfit, and he had a cigarette. He was smoking a cigarette.
Oh wow, yeah.
What an amazing cigarette. He goes,
It is.
to think that this does nothing for your health. This is not bad for your health.
Yeah.
Wow.
Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
I've seen those
I was
commercials.
watching that, and that to me is the same thing with climate
Yeah.
change. Like when the tobacco industry was saying there's nothing to worry about with tobacco.
Mm.
Tobacco doesn't harm you. To me, it's the same as the fossil fuel
Yeah.
industry today saying
Saying the same thing.
there's no such thing as global warming.
Yeah. Until shit happens. And then
Right,
they're
and
like,
that's the guy with the cigarette.
Yeah.
The fossil fuel industry today is telling us there's no global
of
warming.
course, they're
It's
protecting their
That's the
their
doctor
interests.
with a cigarette in his mouth in the 60s telling us that tobacco doesn't cause cancer.
Well, when you hear the term clean coal, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Right.
what is
Yeah,
clean
right.
coal, right?
Right? At what expense?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Were you in the? I know your son was in Whangongo, Samoa, the
Yes.
Samoan Solutions play
Production,
that
yeah.
production. Were you in?
I'm always back
In the background,
Yes.
yes.
In the
Oh, that's right.
backstage.
Because last year I seen you backstage. Are there plays like? Do you think that you'll join the cast next year?
Oh no.
You're always in the back.
No.
We have one
You have-
performer in the family.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's Caleb.
Yes.
Yes.
She was 100% clear with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, not gonna happen.
That's like, it's funny when people hear him sing and they're like, "Can you sing?" No, I do not sing. No.
At all?
At
I
all.
paint.
No.
Did your husband sing?
No. My sisters. All my
Oh.
sisters.
Well, can you sing? Because there's a lot of people that don't sing, but then when you hear them sing, they're
You're
like,
like, wow.
yeah, but I don't like singing. But
Yeah.
Can you sing?
No.
No.
see, I don't sing and I can't
hold
sing.
it to,
Both.
Oh, so you'll admit to
Are your
both.
sisters here in
Oh
the
yeah,
area?
I can't sing at all.
My sisters are in Seattle and Fort Lauderdale.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what a distance.
Opposite corners
Yeah.
of the country.
Yes.
And your parents are here?
All in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
What's with that? A lot of people from Seattle. What's
Yeah.
going on up there?
It's cheap
cheaper
up
living
there.
or what?
Yeah, well, it's getting expensive.
getting expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting there.
For a long time, it was I would go there because I've had that in my market since 2000,
Mhm.
2 different companies.
Mhm.
And I always would go downtown in Seattle and I'd be like, man, this is like a clean San Francisco.
Yeah, a lot of people say
It's like
that.
it looks like San Francisco. It's about the same age. And
Right.
The older buildings there are about the same age as the older buildings in San Francisco. But it's cleaner. I'm hearing that it's turning the downtown area.
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
looking
our
more and
Market
more
Street
like
looks
San
like,
Francisco.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just love the green. Like
The
when you
green,
drive
yeah.
up there,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a different green. Like you hit Oregon and you're just like, wow. Like the green is all the shades of green and
It's from all the rain.
I'm sure, yeah, the rain
Yeah.
and
I used to drive instead of flying from Portland to Seattle or from Seattle to Portland, I would drive. And the store managers or district managers were like, man, you drive that boring drive from all the way from Portland to Seattle. And I was like, you go down I-5 in California and you'll see boring. This, you got waterfalls,
It's
snow-capped
beautiful. Yeah,
mountains.
yeah.
It's all bright green.
I-5 is like
The I-5
Going
you
up.
guys have is beautiful. You go past the dairy farms.
Yeah. cow maneuver
California.
place.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Not a
boring.
good drive.
So
It's
the
beautiful.
return flight to Fiji, a round trip, is $1,153 right now.
Oh, that's cheaper than
Fiji
Samoa.
Airways, yeah.
I think it's Samoa was expensive for us because we went through Hawaii.
Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah.
that made it more expensive.
Yeah. Because our Mavai family went through Fiji, I think, when they went Epium.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
I was stalking them online too. They were having a great time.
In Samoa?
Yeah. Yeah. Samoan Solutions went to Samoa.
That's the thing, though, and then that's one of the things I love about social media is your friends go on a trip.
Yeah, you
and
can
they're-
go
go
they're,
to
they're
them,
very
yes,
active. I wake
yeah.
up in the morning when Trey was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I would wake up and go, fine, what
Where
did
are
you do
they?
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, we're planning a big trip in 2025.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
we're planning to go to Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa.
Uh-huh.
And then we're
Oh.
planning so when all our friends come, we will host them in Fiji.
Nice.
Then our Tongan friends will host us in Tonga.
Oh,
And
nice.
our Samoan family will host us in Samoa. So
Oh
that,
my God.
and so we get to, and with all our kids,
Mm-hmm.
because
We might accidentally end up going
I
the same
know.
times.
I might be living there, so you can come visit.
Yes. Neo is
Yeah.
planning to. He's trying to.
Moving back.
We keep holding on, but that island life, you can't beat that island life.
no.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You
And
own the
frustrating.
land that you're on.
It's very frustrating as
Yeah.
well because their mindset's a little bit different. But
Different.
that's
Yeah.
why we're going. We're going to go and plant little seeds of change,
Uh-huh.
positive seeds.
Do you like in Samoa? Everybody owns the land that they. Is it like that in Fiji?
Yes,
Everybody
we were
has their
very
own.
lucky that we had an advocate for us who made a deal with the English.
Uh-huh.
So it's like 95% of the land is still owned traditionally by the
Wonderful.
indigenous,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's awesome.
and so 5% is freehold land.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But then the problem you have is you have people abusing the lease system. So these are these resorts you see all over the place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At least.
They're all
Yeah.
leased. That they still owe the indigenous. They pay them. I don't
To
know
be
how-
on
yeah.
that property,
To-
yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yes.
a good amount of money, and I'm sure.
Yes, but is it divided equally? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
all these politics of.
So, what is the
Yeah.
money value? Like, say, for instance, me
I
going
think,
with American dollars.
Right now, it's usually one American is 2 Fijian, or in that, you know what I mean. Goes
And
back and
like in
forth, but it'll
Samoa, the
never be-
tala,
Like
yeah.
280, I think, when we were there.
280 for every dollar.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was big balling in
Yeah.
Apia.
And we were.
I traded in like $500, and he counted it back to me, and was like,
We're going shopping.
all kinds of money.
Yeah.
We living it up. We ate at all the nice restaurants,
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
normally like. If I was going on vacation, like in Hawaii, I'm like budget.
Yeah.
I'm on a budget. But
Yeah.
when we were in Apia, it was like, oh yeah, I'll treat. We were like fighting over the
Yeah.
bill.
Same as in American Samoa, like that. It's that story of how many of us? 14.
Jade.
Yeah.
And
Jade.
the bill was $84.
$87.
$87
Yeah.
for 14 people,
$87.
and we ate like pigs.
Oh,
And
Well, I
then
did.
people took food home. There was so much food.
Order like appetizers, like
Yeah.
a sea of appetizers.
Yeah.
But like, and you're sure nobody like paid? It was $87.
87.
87
Because
bucks.
there was in the trip, people kept grabbing the
The bill.
bill,
Mm.
and I wanted to get a bill, and I didn't want to get the
Too elaborate.
$14 bill
Right.
Yeah.
and say, oh, that was my turn. So
Right.
I saw everybody ordering, and I'm like, this is a big one. I'm gonna get this one. So when I reached for it, everybody said the same thing. They're
Yeah.
like, oh no, Carl, don't.
And Carl shows it to me, the blind guy, and I'm like, yeah, that looks right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
in shock.
and I was thinking it was going to be like 300
$300
Yeah.
bucks at
because,
least.
and so I looked at it and I was like,
Is this right?
is that like, is there more coming? And
Yeah.
so then I asked Neil, I go, is that, I totally forget, he
Yeah.
can see right. I go,
Right.
does that look right? And Neil goes, yeah, that looks right. I'm like, okay.
But here's the thing: they had taro, and when you order taro here, it's like really expensive,
Yeah.
and it was like just the falifukalo, and there's oh my god! And when you said $87, I was like, no, there's something missing. They didn't give you the whole.
I asked the
bill.
waiter, I said, are you sure this is it? And he goes, yeah, there's stuff on there that shouldn't be on. I was like, no, yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, we're good. Can we get 2 orders to take home?
Yeah. If that would have been, if it would have said $287,
that would make
I
more
would have
sense.
been like, dang, but yeah, $187 I would have said was cheap.
Yeah,
87 I thought was just wrong.
You know, I was thinking, was it chicken we were eating? Like, what is that to make it so cheap?
Anything that you would like to paint? Any
that you haven't?
Yeah, like is there?
No.
Like you would do the Golden Gate Bridge, would you? Have you?
Yeah, this style though.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done the golden. I've done the
Baby.
bay. Yeah. No.
Oh, I got to see some of those.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think I've seen that. Are they online?
No, they're all
Yeah.
at home hiding.
Yeah.
Waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
So you paint just for your flow, for your mental health, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And
but
so you don't sell, or you try not to. Is that?
I sell to someone who wants it.
Yeah.
More like that.
Yeah.
It's not really something like I'm not painting to sell.
To put it on display with a price tag.
A lot of it is, a lot of it is I just do it for art shows, stuff like that, and
That's awesome. Yeah, I love your work. I love your work. It's beautiful. It's amazing, and you can feel your spirit in the painting. So that's why I'm like over here touching it.
I hope so. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is. It's not flat. I
Texture.
Like it,
Texture. Yeah, I like that.
And how is that accomplished? Is it like more paint on top of the acrylic, or do you add like material?
Cement.
Cement.
So the special type of cement usually add to a paint.
Oh,
to
okay.
make it,
To make it
I like that.
harder and thicker.
Like 3D.
Yeah.
Kind of like 3D, but not.
Yeah.
Do you name your paintings?
Yes.
What did you name these? I feel bad taking all 3.
What?
But I can't give you one. I have to give you 3.
Oh my God!
They
Did you
come
hear
in
that?
sets.
Can they be separated?
No, because the pattern in the back is
They
actually
go together.
Yeah. So it'll tell you how they're connected. So this is probably 1. This is 2, and that's 3. Yeah.
Wow, you
I'm
guys need to
gonna
be on
hang them
YouTube
there.
live to see these. Yeah. They're awesome.
Crazy, amazing. I don't know how we're gonna. I'd have to go live to show people how crazy amazing these paintings are.
I know. It's funny when I take pictures and people, I think they think it's this
Sorry.
Small, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Like an 8x10 or
right,
something.
and then sometimes I have to. People are like, "How big is it?" And I stand next to it because I have ones bigger than me.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my God, those are huge." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't do." It's funny, my black and whites are small,
Yeah.
and then my colors are ridiculous.
I know. I've seen your black and white, so I love your eye, your art, just your free spirit. I mean, you really can feel it in your paintings. And so I was like, we have to have her on just to talk about her art and to feel your spirit in the room. It's so refreshing.
Any particular colors that you're fond of using that you find yourself going to a lot?
Gold.
Gold.
Don't know why. A lot of my stuff is gold. Even my black and white Polynesian tribal ones, I'll paint gold.
And do you do tattoo?
No.
Do people ask you to draw?
design, yes.
To design tattoos for them?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you have a tattoo artist that you can promote that you're?
Yes.
Okay.
My tattoo artist, Andrew Kealoha, out of Kealoha Designs in San Jose.
Nice.
Him and his wife, Jerry, are amazing. So I love that family. Amazing family.
Aloha Designs.
Yes.
And
They'll be at Aloha Fest today.
Oh, nice.
That's you said you're going to support.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, are we going?
Are we going?
Are we going?
Everybody looking at me?
Because you're the driver.
Naki and I will chip in to pay for the parking.
Well, that's
Because
good.
you're the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, Auntie Nani gave me a parking pass.
Oh,
yeah.
so it's not
Nice.
what she knows.
Who you know.
Yeah. Well, we know Nani too, so when
Yeah.
we walk down the hall,
We're gonna jump her for a parking pass.
Right,
Because I think
right.
it's $18.
Yeah, it's $18.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go park at the Hill train station there and walk the kids
Yeah.
because it's just crazy.
And we could eat there. There's food there.
Oh, there's always food there.
I know, but the lines are so
That's
crazy
true.
long.
I don't know if it's going to be the
crazy
same as
long.
last year, but last year it was hot.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
weather's
was
much
hot.
God, I could have brought my
Yeah.
Amu tank top. Did you get an Amu tank
I had
top?
an almond
We had
t-shirt.
Amu t-shirt. Are you going to the barbecue next week?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Good.
Amu barbecue's at Gilman Park. It's a free barbecue for the community from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Advertisement just happened.
Bring a side dish and leave your attitude at home.
No drama. Leave your drama at home. So
if you show up with drama, you'll be the only one with it, and you're going to stand out.
You'll be
That's not a crowd you want to stand out with.
You'll be giving your Oscar performance and just leave.
Yeah, they have their festival. There's also the Cal Polynesian Heritage Day.
Yes.
Which is happening Saturday, September 14th. Kickoff at 1:15. They have food trucks, pre-game entertainment, culture, dance performances, in-game recognition, post-game meet and greet with Cal football and more.
Nice.
Let's see. You get a promotional bandana with every ticket. Contact Lisa Cruz, 510-642-2692. Lisa P. Cruz at berkeley.edu. Awesome. So, I think we're going to go that. I think. If we could get press passes.
Put it out there.
Do you have any artists, music, painting, and that
you admire?
Yeah.
Let's see. Artists. Who else do I know? Well, music, I mean, I just love reggae. You know, it's all what we were raised on. So a lot of reggae, a lot of UB40.
Yeah,
you know, all that stuff.
Oswald.
Yeah, a lot of Lucky Dewey.
Uh-huh.
So, music is pretty big in my house, especially having kids who are musicians.
And they sing.
And then they sing.
Does your younger son sing?
No. He's a band geek.
Oh, so nice.
Tuba freak, piano, guitar. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Both of your kids are artists. So that's a form of artistry, too.
Yeah. My younger one does both. He's also a visual artist like me, too. He doesn't like to create as much, but it's funny when I find him playing with my stuff and he's painting and stuff, and I was like, you're really good. He's like, you just say that because you're my mom.
No,
And then, but it's funny, he took art when he was in middle school and he didn't tell me.
Oh, wow.
So he did it for a whole year. So end of the year I go to the art teacher and the parent teacher day and stuff. And I go in and she goes, your son is amazing. I'm like, wait, how? What? And she goes, she shows me, and she's an amazing teacher. She did all the great Renaissance artists, and she had the kids create in their style. So they got to do Picasso, but their way.
Oh, wow.
Rembrandt, and I see this kid's stuff, and I'm like, oh, shit, you're better than me when I was your age. I was like, why didn't you tell me? He goes, because you're an artist, and you're just going to
Yeah.
Because I think he was assuming I would.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is amazing. You should do this more often. He's like, I think next year I'm going to do band. I was like,
He definitely does have a creative side to him.
Yeah.
Is your husband artist?
Musician.
Musician. There you go.
Yeah. Self-taught and 7 different instruments.
Wow.
That's such a gift.
That is.
Singing, that's such a gift.
I can't even.
Yeah, but I can't get over when they hear stuff and they just play
it.
Because at least both my boys did music in school, so they can read music and so I just can't get how you just hear it and then you play it.
Yeah.
My son's that way. He'll pick up the uke, and if he hears something on the radio that he enjoys, and he'll automatically start playing it, and I'm like, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a gift.
I remember a reality show. It was on VH1, and it had one of the Backstreet Boys, and it had some singers, and they had to break their groups up and do a skit. And so they wanted to do music, and so they had a Backstreet Boy, maybe an NSYNC.
Whoa.
And they had they were kind of musicians, right? And they had Charo. Coochie Girl. They had her in the group, and she goes, so what are we gonna play it in, E or F or what?
She's very talented.
And the other two kids were looking at her like, what?
Yeah,
somebody's gonna play some music and we're gonna sing. She goes, no, we're gonna write the music, so what are we gonna play?
Oh, wow.
And you could see, and she wasn't doing it to show off that she knew music, but then you could see she was a true musician.
No, she is.
And they were performers.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were just like, we don't write music. We don't play
We
an
just
instrument. We don't do
perform.
any of that.
It's very surprising
sing and
because she
dance.
plays classical guitar,
Yeah.
I saw
Spanish, and you know the persona is she's the coochie coochie girl, right? But when she gets down on the guitar, it's
Yeah.
like amazing.
She had paper out, the guitar out. She was like, "What note are we gonna sing it?" You know, and they were just like, oh, "We have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, that's very.
No
Do you
idea.
have a track that we can dance to? Yeah. No, I love musicians who are able to do that. My dad used to play the trumpet, and I would just sit there and watch him, and you know they're just so engaging in what they're doing. You know, until he spits all that stuff out, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play that.
Yeah, my sister played the trombone. She was really good in high school. She went to they have the competition.
Right.
She was first chair all state.
Wow.
But it would be that playing the trombone and then
See, I can't play
emptying
that.
blowing all the spit into the
That's kind of like, wait a minute, what? Yeah.
the family pays for that because the practice to get good
Yes.
goes all through the house and
Yeah.
you hear
Oh, yeah.
them when they're not good at all to get to where they're at. But
So I was like a vocalist growing up, so I did a lot of the weddings. You know, they just put a track in and then you would sing at weddings, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be the next Luther Vandross. Until I discovered liquor, and then it was all over.
Not the liquor.
Yeah, I was like, I can't sing it this way.
Don't let alcohol be the reason.
So behind the mic, I'm behind the mic.
Do you think because your husband is a musician and you're, you know, an artist, do you think that's why your kids are so strong? I mean, they're so strong and so themselves, you know what I mean? Like
Free to be you.
free to be, you know, and expressive and very...
It's funny. I think they think every house is like ours.
Right.
So they only realize. I think my older one, he's probably the most, like, you know, he's very, he's a presence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you meet him every time. So yeah, he was young and he just grew up around and he just thought every house was like this.
That's
and then the
so
younger
awesome.
one's just like, oh, whatever. And then only when friends, you know, when their friends start coming over and then their friends are like, dude, your house has like 45 instruments and an easel and all this painting. And my son just turns over and goes, oh yeah, my mom's an artist, my dad's a musician.
Yeah.
And then after that, then he comes, he goes, not every home is like this. I was like, oh yeah, I know that. And then when he goes to his friends, they're so boring.
Right.
He goes, it's so boring. There's nothing on their walls. There's nothing. I was like,
wow.
Well, yeah, because not every house is like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that the kids' perception of, you know, growing up.
Yes.
And they're always around it, and then they go to a home that has nothing like that.
And then they realize how blessed they are
to
have all this color and,
all your
passion. And
Yeah.
So do you have a room at your house that is just predominantly all your paintings? Because I know when I was painting, it got in the way of everything. Like you couldn't, you didn't want to throw your pieces away. And then, you know, sometimes when you give it away, people are going to be, oh, thank you. And then they'll put it in the closet.
Right.
But I mean, is there a room in your house that is like your husband's like, dude, you got to get some of this stuff out?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the
Everywhere.
time. Yeah, even yesterday he's like, we have to. No, we get to live with this. This is us.
Yeah.
You don't get to have me hide some of this and then and then no. This is us. This is all of us.
Yeah.
Everything here is all of us. So this is where it's gonna be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are there any plans, or do you have any art pieces that you're working on now? Or
I have a big project next year coming up with my friend Jean.
Oh, Jean.
Yeah, we love Jean.
Cho Jean.
Yes. So super excited. It's a lot of work. It's I've been planning it for 2 years now, and it's just I have to accumulate all the traditional mats and tapas and latus and stuff, and so the project it's a big surprise, but it's next year December, so we're very excited for it.
Oh, I'm excited. Jean has a great eye too.
Yes, that is
She's
why
awesome.
I scouted her out because we didn't know each other. We only met like 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
We didn't.
Wow!
We've been spending a lot of weekends with each other, so yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
I know. We just met and then boom, like
Yeah, Jean is instant.
Yeah.
Like once you meet her, you like it's like you've known her forever. Which
Forever.
a handful of people, like a lot of the people that I meet, like you and Epi and Fanga are the same. Like right when you meet them, it's like you've
You
known them for a long
automatically
time.
know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Jean has a great spirit too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I feel like some people you meet, like your family.
yes.
Straight away.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Right away. I love your shirt you have on,
Thank you.
Mac Dre.
Yes.
Because we're from Vallejo, so we know.
We know Mac Dre.
And
We know
your-
Mac Dre.
and your
He's very
hood.
popular in my house.
Yeah. No, my homeboy's an artist out of San Jose, and this is his original piece.
Ah.
Yes.
And what's his name?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Online.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Do you find that online people are always asking you to sell or to want to buy your pieces? Because I know on Instagram you sold a couple of black and white pieces.
Yes.
Are they always do you feel at some point, like I know you said you have to have a feeling for the
Yeah.
person is that how you got the black and white pieces sold to, or are you more easy to let those go than the oil paintings, or are they all your artwork is
Acrylic.
you
Yeah,
have
they're
to have
all. Yeah, they're
you
all.
have to have a feeling for
yeah,
the person.
they're
Oh,
all
okay.
Definitely. Yeah, they're all equal. I consider my poly ones are much harder to do.
Uh-huh.
The time it takes
To make
to
the
sit
yeah.
and plan it out and stuff.
Mhm.
And these seem to just you get to flow.
Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have all the cash apps if anybody sees your work on, say, Instagram and they want to buy it? Do you have like that Mo?
I think I do.
Yeah. Did you design the tattoos that are on your arm?
With Andrew, yes. So that's why I had been to other artists and they were, I think they didn't know I was an artist. They were
Yeah.
like, just trust me. And I was like, no.
Yeah. No.
That's not going to work for me.
It's going on my body. And so when I got to Andrew, he was like, let me sketch it out and you get to pick. And so I told him like I wanted more Fijian ones on me,
Uh-huh.
you know, and then I redesigned some like the bird. Instead of having them one way, I had them go back and forth, like just to
Yeah.
switch it up a bit for me, you know.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And how long did it take?
Let's see, we did 4 sittings, 6 hours each sitting.
Holy.
How long ago?
This was 2 years ago.
2 years.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, wow.
That's
yeah.
Oh, it
beautiful.
goes all the way up.
Yeah. It goes all the way to my back. And then he's doing this one. So,
Wow.
Your thoughts on neck tattoos?
Oh,
Next-
well, what do you think of Bex's tattoo? Because we were talking about that last week, and it's been this crazy,
how
it's gone
ridiculous.
viral.
Yeah.
What do you think of Bex's tattoo?
I think it's beautiful. I
Right.
think it's just crazy. I've seen pear patterns on arms.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sleeves.
Yeah.
Those
And
are
then
all
I've seen people in Germany like in full like bodysuits of all Samoan tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, yeah. It's
Right.
like we pick and choose what
Yeah.
we want to.
Yeah, and I think I know the Suluapa is really if you want to be a student,
Mm-hmm.
and he's open to anyone because I've seen Palangis in Hawaii
Really?
who were his students.
Oh.
So I'm like,
And nobody says anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're booking her time and they're
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
understand that.
Yeah, I think we just pick, and you know what? What pisses me off is it's our own people doing it to us.
I
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think we feel like we have some
We have
right.
ownership
Yeah,
to it.
right to her neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what bothers the shit out of me.
And she
is,
doesn't call it a malu.
Yeah.
She
No.
says it
Yeah.
herself. This
Yes.
is just inspired.
Inspired by the mom.
Inspired
that's
by
all.
Just
yeah.
like the sleeves that are inspired by the
But
pet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody says anything, and everybody has a sleeve, and nobody says anything about that. And the hand, I think that is so beautiful.
Oh
I
my
sh-
god.
I was
My
thinking I
nieces
should
all
have got
got.
one.
Did you see it?
Yes, when they went to Samoa,
I know.
I was like, man, I should have got one. They look so beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
I want to get a neck piece.
I know. You've been talking about that for a while. You need to
Forever.
just give
Just
in
do
and
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tat it up.
Yeah.
So
no,
is Andrew
I'm,
working at the festival? Or is he?
he's a vendor there. Yeah.
Are they allowed to tat at the festival? Because I know
don't
there were some
think
health
open
issues.
Air, yeah.
Yeah, there were some health requirements
Oh.
that.
No, he sells art too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to check it out.
Yeah.
T-shirts, hats,
Has food and
food and art. What else? Do you
food
need?
and art. That's the life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so time just flew by. I just wanted to thank you for coming in and taking time. You came all the way from South State. I don't even feel right taking these pieces from you. There's
No, you'll be doing
crazy
I'll take
amazing.
them. No.
Never mind.
They're beautiful.
Never mind.
pieces.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah, I could put it together because see, you'll see that the pattern underneath actually was done.
Brings them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy amazing. We're so blessed and
Beautiful
honored.
pieces,
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming
Before
down to
we go,
Faika with us.
Is there anything that you want to
Promote.
Promote, shout out, get some shout outs.
Yes, I want to shout out. I got 3 nieces and nephews. Sending some love because they don't live near me.
Oh.
Baby Sai, baby Judah, and my niece Analea up in Seattle.
Yes.
The other thing is, yo, can we just be kind to each other, yo?
Yes.
Right.
That's all, man.
That's all.
Just
Life
be
would be
kind.
Life would be easier if people had that kind of mindset.
Yeah, just be
I
kind.
totally agree.
And be patient.
Be patient. Exactly. That's what I need.
That's my superpower. I'm super
Patient.
patient.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
That is
a
superpower.
That
Yes.
is a super. I don't have that power.
Oh,
I need it though. So
but
We're working on it.
yeah,
working on
takes
it.
time, man.
Yeah.
That's why
that's
you
awesome.
fall a lot.
I fell and hurt my weenus.
Her
So
weenus.
yeah.
Her weenus.
Be kind. I love that. Let's just be kind to
Yes.
each other
Beautiful.
And patient.
and
It
patient.
costs nothing.
Zero is free. I'm going to put them on the wall behind you, I believe. That's where I believe they should go.
Well,
It's beautiful.
We're redoing the whole thing.
We're redoing the whole, but I'd like to hang them up until we figure it out. So thank you so much, Tisha, for coming down. We love you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming down to
Thank
Faika
you for
with us.
having us.
We're here every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Come back to Faika with us.